friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie if you're new here, and today I'm so excited to share with you my favorite shades for Valentine's Day. Now, I know I mentioned this in a previous video, I think it was in the Island P Sweetheart bundle in my outro there, that I really don't like how commercialized Valentine's Day or just other holidays have become. And I really don't want to contribute to that, but I am a Libra and I am a sucker for all things love and romance. So there are still elements that I enjoy about Valentine's Day. So yeah, if this video is not for you, I totally get it, but I am just in my element with all the pinks and the reds for this time of year. I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry because that's just who I am. So I'm really excited to just go into a few of the polishes that I picked from my collection that I think just really invoke all those cutesy, romantic Valentine's vibes. So let's just get into the swatches. The first shade I have is Talk to Me by Color Department. This is from their newest pastel collection that actually launched around the fall, so I haven't had a chance to really use it yet, but I'm so excited to finally be showing this one some love. This is described as a sweet pastel pink with hints of rose and mauve. So I don't really see the mauve per se, but there is this really elegant and subdued tone to it, even though it looks kind of bright here. So I don't really love the Color Department brush. I just find it to be a little too dense where it's thick in the wrong direction. So you just have to be careful not to grab a lot of polish on it, but it's really easy to apply and the formula builds up really nicely in 2 coats. I really do love this shade. This is like my perfect sweetheart pink that I think is just so perfect for February. The next polish I chose is Zoya Marcia from their Rose palette from a few years ago. This is another pink cream, but this one is obviously a little bit darker and is described as a warm French rose shade. I just adore rosy shades like this. They feel so elegant and romantic to me. I think because they just remind me of roses and also lipstick, which might be kind of weird, I guess, but I don't know, it just makes sense in my mind. So since I'm using the wide brush, I had really easy coverage on the first coat where, as you saw, it was nearly opaque, maybe some bald spots or streaks here and there, but I got it fully opaque in 2 coats. And back when I did have the skinny brush on this one, it obviously was a lot more streaky on the first coat, but again, still opaque on 2 coats. But formula aside, I still absolutely love the color and think it's so elegant and sophisticated. Next up, I have Strawberries and Cream from Noodles nail polish. And if you can't tell by the label, I've had this in my collection for a long time. So I am pretty sure that Natalie did bring back this shade. It just is slightly reformulated. So mine is from the original batch, but I really don't know what the differences are. But yeah, I was just lucky enough to find this in a D-stash. It was just the most exciting thing for me because I am just so obsessed with this. It is just such a cute crelly, especially for the month of February. It's a cream colored crelly base with pastel pink and red metallic glitters, and there's also a very fine gold micro glitter as well. It's kind of sparse though, so it doesn't really pick up as easily as the other metallic glitters, but it's just such a beautiful detail. So between the name and the colors, this is easily one of my favorite crellies ever. Now, it's not Valentine's Day without some reds, so I had to include Holo Taco's favorite sister, which I've really been loving since it launched. I'm so sad I didn't get to wear it for a Christmas mani because this is just such a perfect holiday kind of red, but at least I think it's perfect enough to wear on Valentine's Day as well. So in my initial review of this shade, I was a little annoyed at just the skinny brush. As you can see, I'm kind of having to go back and forth over my application. It's just a little finicky, but it still has really good coverage on the first coat, and it builds up to full opacity on 2 coats for me. So as always, I would recommend, if you can, getting some wide brushes, especially from KB Shimmer, because you can just get them in bulk for super cheap. But aside from that, this color is just so stunning. The foil metallic flake line, I think they're frosted metals, it's just so eye-catching. Even in indirect or low lighting, those little metallic pieces just capture the light in a way that makes your nails twinkle, and it is just so beautiful. So this is easily, hands down, one of my favorite metallic kind of reds. So I have a few red creams if the last shade was a little too much for you. The first one is OPI's A Bloom with a View, which is one of their classic red polishes, but this one is in their Nature Strong line. So it's not really a true red, it's a little bit darker, and it's described on the website to channel the rare beauty of a rose, which honestly I can definitely see. So I personally don't really wear full red manicures, at least not often, but when I do, oh my gosh, I love them. They just bring my confidence like through the roof, honestly. I should probably wear a little bit more. There's just something about this one that I think is so beautiful. It has a slightly crelly formula, so it's going to need at least 2 coats to get full coverage, but once it's built up, I really do see that connection to red roses. So this is just such a beautiful romantic shade for me. Now going one step darker, we have Essie's Spiked with Style, and this is from their Gel Couture line. I love a deep red because it is just so powerful and honestly just so sexy. I shared one recently in my Capricorn favorites video, and this one is pretty similar to Cirque's Empire State of Mind, and honestly it probably is a dupe for it. I think it's also very similar to another one of my favorites from Persona Cosmetics. The shade is called Midnight, but for whatever reason, I just felt way more drawn to this shade in particular. Maybe because of the bottle. I think it just reminds me of those like fancy flower vases, you know, like when you get one of those really fancy bouquets. There's just something about it. Or honestly, it also kind of reminds me of like a beautiful bottle of perfume, which then reminds me of like getting dressed up and going out on a little date night, and this is the mani I would wear with that. Next, I wanted to include a few neutrals, and we're starting with Holo Taco's Blushed Ice from their recent Holo Barista bundle. So I was still kind of figuring out if I liked this shade on me, but I have really grown to love it since I first tried it. The blush tones in this almost give this a rose gold kind of look, but definitely not as pink as Play Rosé, for example. And the formula is just so delicate that I think it would work beautifully as an accent nail or just as subtle detailing, especially paired with a red cream or one of the next 2 shades I'm going to share. I think this is also another shade that looks so beautiful and soft on the first coat because it just applies really evenly and it just looks so elegant. But here I am showing it in 2 coats, and that crushed holographic formula is just so beautiful and eye-catching to me. I just really love this one. The next neutral that I have is China Glaze's The Snuggle Is Real. So I really wanted to add in a warm, kind of light neutral like this because I just find them to be so cozy, and I really think they're a great alternative if you're not into pink or red nails. I think the name is also just so perfect for snuggling up with your date, and the color also sort of reminds me of a soft teddy bear, which I think is super cute, even though again I'm not really a big fan of how commercialized Valentine's Day is. I just really love cute plushes and cozy vibes, so this one is just a must for me. The formula is super creamy and opaque in just 2 coats, and I'm pretty sure you can still get this even though it was from a couple of years ago, but this one is just so beautiful. Next up we have Essie's No To-Do, which recently came out in their Unguilty Pleasures collection. This decadent brown reminded me the most of a rich chocolate kind of shade, which you need to have for Valentine's Day. Though, to be totally honest, I'm not really a huge chocolates person. I can only have like 1 piece before it gets too sweet for me, so since I can't really indulge in them the way other people might, I just choose to wear it on my nails instead. So yeah, this one, as I said in my initial review, is just absolutely breathtaking with its creamy, dreamy formula. It's pretty much opaque in 1 coat, but I still did 2 out of habit. And last but certainly not least, I have Holo Taco's Espresso Your Holo, which is another recently released shade from their Holo Barista bundle. So even though this one is obviously more reminiscent of espresso, I definitely was thinking of it in a dark chocolate kind of sense. It is just so deep and rich and luxurious. I just love it so, so much. Even though I am not super into dark shades at the moment, like this one is just such a standout for me. It is so perfect, such a great alternative, again, if you're not into the cutesy, lighter shades, but you still kind of want to channel some Valentine's Day energy, or even if you want to go with like an anti-Valentine's Day sort of look. This one is just beautiful with that subtle sparkle that I just think really works for special occasions or holidays. It is just so breathtaking to me. So that wraps up my swatches for my favorite shades for Valentine's Day. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, even if you're not a fan of the holiday. But if you do like Valentine's Day, please let me know if you'd want to see some cute tutorials over here, because I have been sharing some over on my Instagram page, which is always linked in the description box down below. But I just don't really know if it's best to do them over here as YouTube shorts or doing like a video compilation, kind of like how I did in the summer, where it's a little bit more in depth with a voiceover tutorial. So if that's something you would like to see, again, please let me know down below, as well as how you would prefer seeing them. I kind of might do a mix of both, like having a video compilation of multiple designs and then sharing like 1 or 2 quick and easy ones that aren't as in-depth as shorts. So I don't know, let me know what you would think of that. I definitely would appreciate that, but leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.